introduce Mark Lewin, who is a financial advisor at Mark's Financial Planning and is now the owner of Back Office Heroes. Great to see you this morning, Mark.
Morning, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Now, I think it's fair to say we hear a lot about the expected benefits for advisors in outsourcing. Now, this could be either their power planning, bookkeeping, HR, or their investment solutions. So this short interview, we're hopefully going to give advisors a deep insight about the benefits of outsourcing through the eyes of an advisor who's successfully done it. Now, Mark, many people listening to this will probably not know that you successfully sold your financial planning business recently.
That's
Would
right.
you mind giving us a quick overview of that business?
Yes, I began financial planning way back in 1995 and had to learn the hard way in building the practice and then building or turning the practice into a business. But over the last 10 years, we made the most improvements. And one of them was outsourcing, Paul. I was lucky. I have a friend that started a transcription business in the Philippines. And I asked him the other day, when did I actually receive my first invoice? And it was April 2011. And for a decade, we'd been outsourcing. It started with a simple file note, but it ended with so much more. And I advise financial planners now on how to run successful businesses, and you must have outsourcing. It is very profitable and it does become your quality control, although a lot of us have to get our head around sending material up to the Philippines or wherever in Asia. But once they learn your procedures, and as you learn to write better procedures, the quality is good and it saves so much time, and really the cost benefit is wonderful.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Now, you told me that you restructured the business to make it more efficient. Before doing that, what would you say were the big issues, but like the main sort of pain points that actually made you want to change?
Yeah, good point. And it's always a combination of factors. So we had got on top of outsourcing, as we've said, about 10 years ago. And I'd always questioned Xplan. I knew that it was powerful, but we had our typical love-hate relationship with it. But slowly we got on top of Xplan. The outsourcing group, we able to enter my Xplan site. And then the final piece, because I truly believed in outsourcing, was outsourcing the investment piece, the portfolio construction. So we embarked on that in late 2017 because I was running model portfolios. And I have a background in investment markets, and it was almost like a passion of mine to put those portfolios together. But deep down, I knew that I couldn't spend the time and I didn't have the expertise. And we needed to outsource the investment piece. So the real efficiency started to occur in about 2017, 2018. We had outsourcing working, we understood and utilized Xplan, and the investment piece was outsourced. Now, we had a major incident here, probably 2017, when our best performing Australian share fund was put on not only hold, but redeemed by Lonsec after the 4 top managers left their business to start up their own boutique. So we virtually had to stop the business for 5 weeks as we wrote records of advice, assembled the paperwork, and moved all of our clients out of that one managed fund and into its replacement. And I never want to do that again. And so we made that move. We moved to managed accounts and haven't looked back.
So Mark, what was and by the way, it's not an uncommon story. And I obviously the efficiencies of managed accounts can certainly avoid that issue that you had with that particular fund. How did you actually go about choosing a managed account? Did you actually have a process to do that?
Look, we had a process, but it was pretty light on. Virtually, I did want to go and have a look at track records. I did want to have access to the managers, not on a weekly or monthly basis, but I did want the ability to pick up the phone and maybe chat about things. And of course, we needed the managers' updates, the monthly update, the quarterly update, because that allowed us to give ample information and data to our clients. And of course, the information that we got on a monthly basis was far more than whatever I could produce running my own model portfolios. So I wanted access. I wanted a bit of a track record. And again, performance really didn't. Performance is important, but I wasn't looking for the best performing managed account. There's far more to it these days. We've all learnt that. And I wanted the support to help my clients with information.
Okay. Now we see advisors, excuse me, we see advisors actually wanting to make a change, and sometimes it can be difficult for them. How did you actually go about the changeover process? Did you actually get someone to come in and project manage it, or did you do it another way?
Look, I had some very good staff members. And so I actually took it on internally, myself and my paraplanner and the client service manager, and we commenced. But after a year, we'd probably only moved a quarter of the clients, and we were trying to integrate it into the annual review meetings. And looking back now, we were 2 or 3 years too early, because there is now some wonderful software to help you in the comparison part of building a statement of advice and actually producing the statements of advice. And so project management is a great thing. It's far easier to do it now than just a couple of years ago. And Back Office Hero also project manages this for some of our clients using some of the new software that's available, but it's a massive task. It shouldn't be taken lightly. And I would be suggesting to financial planners that they do seek some help from the managed account provider and any other consultants they can ask for.
Great. I guess the pivotal question is, once the move, I suppose, to managed accounts was done, what did the business look like, and did it actually achieve the efficiencies and the benefits that you expected it would?
Absolutely. The business changed completely. What we're all trying to do as financial planners is deepen the client relationships. It's a fact that financial planning clients are rather sticky, but you do lose the odd client every year. So deepening the relationship is so important. And by moving to managed accounts, all of my staff had time to free up and just spend more time, even if it was chatting to a client, having my receptionist chat to clients when they arrived for their annual review, when they left from their annual review, or on the phone, or completing an email. And so we had the luxury. It was almost a luxury to spend more time with our clients as we'd relieved ourselves from the grind of those portfolios, tracking the portfolios, reading the research reports. So a big difference, a very big positive change.
Did anything go wrong? Were there any lessons that you can impart to advisors who are currently looking at going down this journey?
Yeah, good point, Paul. We all know that if you give a chance to a client to leave, you're going to flush out one or two that have always had some issues with your practice. We lost one significant client, but that client told us that he loved the cut and thrust of markets And he ultimately wanted the control of choosing what went into his portfolio. Now, he wasn't ringing me weekly or monthly prior, but we agreed with him that we should move him, and we found him another financial plan, and he was happy with that. And so, look, we lost a significant client. We lost some other clients in the move. That happens. All financial planners know that you get those awkward calls once, twice a year, and you've lost the client. But other than that, it was a very positive move for our clients. I think the clients understood that by me outsourcing the investment piece, we had real experts looking after their portfolio, and that I could never devote as much time as the experts.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually going to ask you if you felt that it met their needs and what was the feedback. Obviously, you got feedback from that one significant client that sort of chose to go somewhere else. And I think it's a testament to you that you were able to actually facilitate that for the client and didn't sort of back down and say, oh, well, for you, we can do this, because I suppose then there's not really the massive commitment and the focus, I suppose, on sort of making a more efficient business.
Absolutely. If you're going to move to managed accounts, you've got to prep your own mind that it's for the entire business. You can't have a foot in both camps.
Sure. Yeah.
So we knew that up front. We knew we were going to have some awkward conversations. We were prepared for it. And that's just a fact of life. But we knew that there was no turning back. And the business was far better for it. Our clients were far better for it.
Great.
It was a good story all round.
Yeah, look, it sounds like it. And it's, yeah, look, it does. And there's obviously a growing popularity, I suppose, with managed accounts. There's a lot of interest in the market, but it's been terrific to be able to actually hear from you, someone that did adopt it relatively early on, and the changes that it's made or that it made to Mark's and financial planning, and obviously set you up to be able to sell that, I believe, for a good price in the market. And people are looking for efficient businesses. And I think that's a bit of a key, especially at the moment as advisors are looking potentially to transition potentially out of the business as they get close to retirement.
Yes, we call it transferability. So if you've got no barriers for someone to take over your business, then you're going to attract more buyers, more competitive tension. And so we firmly believe that managed accounts was a significant part in the transferability of my business. The outsourcing was important. The use of Xplan was important. And if you can marry all those three together, then potential buyers couldn't see a real barrier for taking over my business. And more importantly, I was able to support the price I wanted. And at the end of the day, it was a great sale. In fact, the financial planner who bought my business is now my financial planner, and I'm using the same.
Great.
No.
Mark, any final thoughts?
Look, if you're considering moving to managed accounts, prepare yourself. You will be a big winner after the case. Back Office Hero can assist you. We can help in the project management of that. There's some great new software that we now have access to. So absolutely, call me. I'll buy a coffee for you and we'll discuss how we can project manage and change your business for the best.
Mark, thank you for your time. If this interview has left anyone wanting more information, then please reach out either to myself from a managed account perspective or Mark using the following contact details. We appreciate your time and thanks for listening.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheers.